for those people who have been made fun of when you were like a kid, or for those people who have been bullied. Sometimes it's just so difficult to be yourself because you feel like your brain has associated like being yourself and do all the things that you like with being like with a bad thing, it's something that you have to hide. So when we kind of like are ourselves and we are like in a society, like we are I don't know, we are at a party or at work or whatever, and we are being like we're doing something that we like, or we are like telling something about a person, something to someone about something that we like. We feel like so anxious because all of lives, all of our lives in our life, we have been told that all those things are bad and that we should hide them. So, for instance, for me, when I was a kid, I used to play like with dolls. So out of my classmates used to like made fun of me for that. And I understood that that was something that I wasn't supposed to do outside of my home. Like I was allowed to play with them at home, but not like outside of my home. Uh, Consequently, with other things, like use me liking things that were not like what boys should be liking. Like I didn't like playing football and all that stuff, whatever. So I like linked like being doing the things that I like, or like yeah, doing the things that I like, or even like wearing the clothes that I want to wear with like with no, you shouldn't be wearing those things because if you wear those things, people will make fun of you, you know. So all these years, I've been having like these anxious things, like these anxious thoughts all my life since I was like a kid. Because if I, for instance, was wearing, I don't know, I know it sounds like stupid, but I think like that type of like trauma really like gets you into this type of mindset. But for instance, if I was wearing like I know like if I was wearing like a necklace that wasn't like rough, something like our necklace with with a pendant that it wasn't like was a little bit feminine, I will be so scared, and I'll if I went outside, I will be so anxious all the time because I thought people will make fun of me, people will literally bully me in the streets. But at the end of the day, like I like that necklace. So if I like it, then why shouldn't I be able like to be okay, like to be calm? But no, I was so anxious because of that, because I thought like because of my past experiences, like my brain was telling me that you shouldn't do those things because if you do those things, then people will treat you bad, or you will feel bad with yourself. But then after behaving like this all my life, I felt like so lost, like if I have lost my spark. So that's what we are going to talk about losing your spark, losing like those things that, like losing that thing of yourself that really make you happy and really make you content. I think the word is content, because being happy is a feeling. Of course, you can be happy, you can be sad, but I think like being like okay with yourself and being like content, I think that's something that we should all like to be having, in life. So just a little bit context, I've already like talked about it, but after like feeling as if I always felt as if I couldn't like be myself outside of my comfort zone. If I was with uh if I met new people, I would be like, when they ask you, oh, what are your favorite artists? Like, what is your favorite musician or your favorite group or whatever? I will always say like the most basic thing that you could ever like imagine. Like, I will always say like the most basic thing because I thought, okay, if I don't tell them the real musician that I really like, they might make fun of me because it's not like mainstream, or it's not like accepted. Like for instance, I used to really like Blackpink. I still love them. But, it's like they have been like they're not as active as they were, whatever. But I used to really like Blackpink, and I was ashamed of that because I at the school people who like K-pop or people who like I don't know other type of music or like mm, like hip hop or whatever will make fun of. So when people would ask me like, "What is your favorite musician?" I will always say, "I don't know, uh, mm, I don't know. I don't want to say any names just because I don't. I don't know. But I will never say my favorite group, which was Blackpink, and still is though. Well, no. Anyways, it still is. So I would never say that. Uh, I feel like I didn't connect with people. I feel like if I didn't connect, I wasn't connected with people because I wasn't being my true self. However, one day I decided, okay, if they ask me what is my favorite group, I will say Blackpink. Okay, I will just say it just for one time. I gave myself like that task. If one person tells me what is your favorite group, I will say this. So when that time came, I say it, and for my surprise, that person also liked Blackpink, and we had like we actually like came closer. Like we no not came closer. Like we actually became friends because of that, which is like one thing that you used to be ashamed of now is something that you're actually making friends with because of this thing. So yeah, I think it's like that that moment I was like so confused because I was like, oh, I didn't know this will happen. So I know it's really easy to say this, like to say like you have to be more yourself, but I think it's so important because the moments I'm not myself, like the moments I feel I'm playing a role, like I feel like so bad with myself. And it's not like okay, like if you go maybe with I don't know someone that you don't really know, they might be really different and you don't want to like whatever. Okay, it's just one day, but being like that all the time, like that really hurts yourself because you're always telling yourself that you're not enough, that you are not like that you are weird, not in a good sense, but in a bad sense. Like you are not normal in a way. Like you're telling yourself you are not bad, but you're like disgusting. Because if you were to tell people what you really are or what you really like, you wouldn't feel that bad because those are the things that you like. So why should be ashamed of those things, you know? So I think like it's so important just not being afraid of expressing yourself and being yourself because at the end of the day if you want to always fit in with people you're usually going to make friends with people that actually do not like you or do not love you. They only like you because you are literally like always saying yes. You are always like say yes to everything because you don't want to make them like uncomfortable or whatever. So at the end of the day, those friends that you're making are not like genuine friends. However, when you are yourself, of course, there are going to be people that are going going to not hate you, but they might be, oh, this weird person or whatever. But you're going to find other people that will actually like love you and that will have the same interest in you, and you'll be like so happy. So yeah, I think like it's so important to be yourself, and that's a part of like trying to regain that spark, being yourself. Like, if you don't know whether to wear like that shirt that you bought and you really like it, but it's like maybe it's like it's a little bit not weird, but it's like different for what other people are wearing, but by what other people are wearing, like wear it, fucking wear it, because some people might like side eye you, but at the end of the day, if you like that shirt, who cares? So, for instance, I am a huge fan of Monchichi, which is like this character. I'm going like to put it here, like a Japanese character, or like a Japanese I think it was like animation. I don't know if it's animation, but I really like it. It's so cute. So I and they sell it as a kitchen that you can like put it on your back or whatever. And I was so afraid of putting that kitchen on my back. Like I was so afraid because I was like, what will people will think of me? People will make fun of me because I'm literally having like, it looks like a labubu, but it's not a labubu. People are going to think that I have a labubu, and they're going to think that I'm so childish and that I'm so, I know that I'm not like mature enough or something like that. But then I wore it and I felt so good with myself. Of course, the first day I was so anxious. I was so anxious. I was always looking around me to see whether people were like looking at it or whatever. But at the end of the day, like people do not really care that much about you, sadly. I know it's sad because, but people do not really care that much. And the first time was like the worst because I thought, girl, everyone is looking at me. I'm feeling so anxious or whatever. But the second time was a little bit better. I have less anxiety. And then the third time, I really forgot that it was there. I literally forgot it was there. And I felt like so good with myself because I was wearing something that I really liked, and it made me happy and made me like content because I really liked how it looks also in my back. So I felt like so good with myself also because I was like, look, you're wearing something that you really like, and you feel like a little bit better with yourself because you're telling yourself the things that you like are valid. They are as valid as others people like things like. So yeah, it's really important to just little by little, like I was this was like the thing about wearing once and twice and then repeat it until you literally even forget it that you have it there. My therapist told me that, and at first I didn't do it because I was like, I don't want to go through this shit. Because I get really anxious with that stuff. I think like, maybe some PTSD from back when I was like a kid. But I'm trying like when I buy something that I really want to wear, but I feel afraid or what other people will think, I literally force myself to wear it until I do no longer like have those feelings. Because if not, I'm going to be here all my life, like being this person that I'm not. Like I'm not that person. And I have to regain like that old me, the person who was like who didn't care about what other people thought of me, the person who literally wore things that he really liked. And that person, I really want to game that person to come back. I really want to that person to really to come back, to come back home. So yeah, I really wanted to tell you guys about this because I think part of a part of losing, like a part of losing our spark, is because we're letting ourselves go. By letting ourselves go, sorry, by letting ourselves go, we're literally punishing ourselves, and you probably feel so bad because you are becoming someone that is literally so bland, and then we feel like, oh, I don't have friends, or uh, I know how to I feel so anxious around people. Of course you're going to feel anxious around people if you don't respect yourself. I do not respect myself, and I'm trying to change that. But you have to realize it, that is also, you have to do something. Like it's not going to just uh your your spark isn't going to be repaired by, I don't know, by anyone. Like, you are the one who has to repair it by doing these certain things. And the moment you acknowledge that you also like have a part to play in this, you you'll start to you'll begin to do some progress, I think. So I think it's time that we take control of our lives and start being ourselves is one of the things that we have to do in order to be more content and be more, be more happy with us. And there is also something that I think is really important to acknowledge, and that is that this is oh, this is a process. Like, you're not going to get better in 1 day or 2 days. It's literally a process. Like 2 years ago, like, or like five, if you had asked me like 2 years ago that I will be where I am right now, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it because first, like, getting better takes a lot of time, like a lot of time, and just take day by day. I think that's really important. And also, if you can do like set certain like things, like for instance, if you are feeling a little bit anxious about people, try to go somewhere where there are a lot of people, not a lot, but crowds of people, like not many crowds of people, but where some people like pass by and you can be there. And yeah, at first you're going to be anxious, but then some time will pass. And if you do it some days, you'll get better at it. And that's how improvement happens. So yeah, that's all for today. So please like and subscribe. Yeah, and comment down below. Please, I know my English is not that good. I'm trying to prove it, but yeah, that's all. See you. Bye.